Hello you guys, what's up? Welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a video all about some of my current favorite picks from the drugstore for the fall season. A lot of these things are newer products at the drugstore and I'm very excited about that because I've been testing them for a couple weeks so I can give you guys my full opinions on these products and why I like them for fall. So I guess, yeah, let's just get into it. First thing I want to speak about is a great face mask. So this is from Uncle Bud's. I've actually never used anything from them before. This is their Belize Seaweed Hemp Seed Oil Detoxifying Face Mask, Sweet Agave Nectar. This is supposed to be deep cleansing, revitalizing, hydrating, and it's for all skin types. Actually, my boyfriend is the one who saw this because we've been seeing a lot of stuff about seaweed being good for skincare. And the seaweed and the hemp seed oil is really high in the ingredient list, which makes me believe that it's in higher concentrations of this formula. And I do think it is very hydrating. It comes in a sachet like this. However, I do find that one sachet is good for 3 to 4 uses because I don't use a lot of it when I do use it. I apply it, you know, similar ratio as I would with a regular facial moisturizer. It says you can leave it on for 10 to 15 minutes. I like to do 30 to 40 and then rinse it off, and I feel like my skin looks a lot more hydrated and plump. But not only that, it actually feels really hydrated, especially during these months where your skin starts getting a little bit tighter, a little bit more chapped, a little bit more dry and flaky looking. It's been really nice. I prefer to use it in the morning before I do my makeup, and I've been using it like 2 to 3 times a week and have been super happy with it, so picked up 2 more. Next up is a matte foundation, which previously, 6 months ago, you could never catch me wearing a matte foundation. This one is new. It's from Almay. It's the Almay Skin Perfecting Comfort Matte Foundation. I wear the shade Warm Cashew. One thing I should let you guys know, because I know this bothers some people, it doesn't bother me personally, but this one does not have a pump, so it's a completely open bottle like this. I just dunk my finger in there and then pat it all over my face. There's no fragrance in this as well, so those of you who find that fragrance is drying or irritating to your skin, you'll be happy to know that there's no fragrance in this. And I've actually noticed a lot of matte foundations are fragranced. Is that just me or is that right? I feel like that's totally right. It's so nice, so lightweight, so fluid, and it's not a dry matte finish. It's a very natural skin-like looking matte finish. So I think that's the key. And it is also very long wearing. Generally speaking, matte foundations are a lot more long wearing, but I've been super impressed with this. It's a foundation that I'm wearing on my skin today. You can manipulate the finish a little bit by using a dewy setting spray or by not powdering. So I really have been liking this. Very comfortable, not drying, and super long wearing as well. Oh, and coverage wise, it is medium to full coverage, but as with any foundation, if you really sheer this out, you can get light coverage from it as well. So it, to me, covers the whole spectrum of coverage. And the concealer I've really been liking is also from Almay. This is the Skin Perfecting Concealer. So this is a matte concealer, but in my experience, it's actually a little bit less matte than the foundation, if that makes sense. So in my mind and in my experience, it makes it a little bit nicer than something that's super matte to put underneath your eyes because it's quite emollient, it's very thick, it's got great coverage, but it's not that dry, moussey looking under eye concealer. And you can also use it to conceal blemishes and things like that because it is not, you know, dewy or reflective. There's no shimmer to it, so it doesn't bring texture anymore to light. And the coverage is, again, medium to full, but as with everything else, you can just use the tiniest bit and you will get barely there coverage. This is one of those concealers that, because it's so emollient and blendable, it's one of those beautiful cream concealers that just blends away into your skin and looks practically undetectable if you really take the time to just like warm it up with your fingertips and really like push it into your skin. It's a very beautiful concealer paired together. They're really great. You guys are going to die over this blush just as much as I have. It's new from Physicians Formula. This is the Healthy Elixir Dewy Blush. I don't know if I have liked a liquid blush as much as I like this. This is a hidden gem at the drugstore right now, and mine is in the shade Gorgeous Peach. One thing I will say, my pump doesn't work. The pump is broken. I pumped it for like 5 minutes one day and I could not get anything to come out. So mine's a little bit messy because I have to keep going in, and I just put it on the back of my hand and then pat it on my cheeks. It is the most beautiful liquid cream blush that I have ever tried. It is so dewy. It looks like healthy skincare. I've never tried a liquid blush like this. It has just the slightest bit of shimmer to it, so it reflects back light and gives you a genuinely juicy, dewy looking cheek. I have also used this on top of foundation, and I have not had problems with it breaking down the foundation or leaving weird gaps in my makeup. So I have nothing but rave reviews to say about this blush. There are, I believe, 4 or 3 shades. This is the only shade I picked up, but there's a couple other shades that I'm eyeing. I just wanted to get one to see if I really like it, but I think the next one I'm gonna get is that berry tone, because nothing but good things to say about this blush. Really great pigmentation, but also has the ability to be blended out sheerly. So it looks great with a full face of makeup, but but also equally as great with just minimal makeup, because it looks so natural and gorgeous when you just wear the tiniest bit. I mean, you have to get this. You will be obsessed. I promise you. I have another blush, but I feel like I tell you guys this every fall. Every time September rolls around, I talk to you about how excited I get when all the berry blush tones come out, because I personally feel like berry is the most flattering shade of blush on my skin tone, and Neutrogena came out with these new Cheeky Wink flushed blushes. This one is in the shade Boysenberry, and it is the most beautiful berry blush. It's got a lot of light reflection to it. Again, I like those blushes that have a little bit of shimmer to them, because I think they give you a very juicy, youthful looking apple of the cheek, and this shade is literally to die for. It is the color that I have on my cheeks right now. I have it sheared out, so it's just more of like a light berry, but you can build it up and really get that like purple berry intensity if you just build it up on top of itself. So again, a great versatile product that can be sheared out or worn a little bit more intense. And I've actually worn this as an eyeshadow one time, and I was like, I'm here for it, because it brings out like brown tones, and I just think these are so flattering on brown hair, brown eyes. They look good on any skin tone, but you know, brown hair, brown eyes, like sometimes it's harder to find stuff that looks good on us, and like berry tones, they are everything for brunette, brown-haired girls. Brunette, brown-haired girls, brunette, brown-eyed girls, berry tones. You'll be happy. Physicians Formula came out with a new shade of the Butter Bronzer, and hello, I probably haven't been so excited to see something at the drugstore in a while. This is the shade Sculpting Bronzer, yes. So it's very deep, and I don't use this as a contour, I just use this as a straight up bronzer. The previous other 2 shades of Butter Bronzer were a little bit lighter, so I found myself only using the Butter Bronzers during like the winter and fall months, or when I wasn't wearing spray tan, but this looks good on me and shows up on my skin even when I have a spray tan. It's the same formulation as the previous Butter Bronzers, has that same vacation party scent to it as well, but it's just so creamy, and it is one of the most ideally formulated bronzers of any bronzer line ever, and I just was so excited that they came out with a darker shade. So definitely one of my biggest top picks now, and even in the fall and the winter, girl, I still spray tan because I want to be tan all the time, and this is like very exciting and a great fall bronze. But if you aren't as dark as I am, or you want something lighter, the Butter Bronzers in the lighter shades are really good as well. Okay, so during the fall months, I know a lot of people stop wearing highlight because that's more reserved for like spring and summer for certain people, but I wear highlighter year round, and I love a good wet looking but sheer looking highlight, and this is so good. This is actually a jelly highlighter. It's from Maybelline. It's the Master Chrome Jelly Highlighter. And if you guys have ever used a jelly highlighter, in my experience with jelly highlighters in the past, they've always been very sheer and very iridescent and didn't really have the ability to be built up to full intensity, whereas this one does. Now, I will say, it's a jelly highlight, so it is kind of messy in the pot, but it comes with a foil overlay on top. So if I could give you advice, if you don't want your lid getting all messy and the product getting throughout the crevices, just kind of tear a little hole in the foil overlay, and then you can dip like the end of a makeup brush in there to get the product out. That's kind of what I wish I did, because it does get a little bit messy and it moves around. It's essentially the consistency of slime, and it is without a doubt the most pigmented, most buildable jelly highlight I have ever tried. It is absolutely gorgeous, and it actually looks like wet skin. And another great thing about this highlight, although it's, you know, that jelly formulation, you can put this on top of foundation and powder and it doesn't break down the product, so you won't be left with patches in your makeup. But you guys have to try this. It will make your skin look so wet and so glowy, but it will dry down and it won't move around. So it's not like a, you know, gel or balm highlight. It sets down and it has like a nice powder finish to it. I personally really love deep navy tones during the fall with a lot of shimmer. I just love dark jewel tones and lots of shimmery, velvety textures during the fall. Maybelline released several new shades of the color Tattoo, but my favorite has been this navy in the shade Trailblazer. It's what I'm wearing as my liquid eyeliner today. These are great, versatile, long wearing eye products that you can use as eyeshadows. You can use them as an eyeshadow base, or you can also use them as eyeliner like I did today. There's also a deep purple that I really like, but navy I think is so beautiful during the fall months. So if I had to pick one to recommend to you guys, it would be Trailblazer, because it makes a really beautiful eyeliner as well as just like a smoky eye. You could do one color smoky eye with this and it would look amazing. Another eye trend that I really like during the fall is, well, I mean, it's year round, but I really like a little bit more of a chunky glitter shadow, because I think it just adds a little bit more texture to the eye, and especially paired with like other satin and shimmer eyeshadows, a chunkier glitter kind of just adds a little bit of contrast that I think looks really beautiful with, you know, dramatic dark shadows. These Wet n Wild liquid catsuit eyeshadows that are shimmery are insane. They have like micro glitter, but when it's swatched and put on the eye all together, you almost get a twinkling shimmer effect. So it has the effect of having bigger chunky glitter with smaller chunky glitter. And these are two shades that I'm really into right now. So we have Cashmere Love and Goldilocks. And it just adds a nice little bit of juxtaposition to something that's matte or satin, because these are like blinding, twinkle, twinkle, twinkle under the lights, and they look so good, and they're really affordable and just like a fun way to add these with maybe like an eyeshadow palette that you want to switch up looks with. This is like a nice way to kind of like switch up the way you're doing your makeup for fall. I know we've been talking all about matte skin, and I actually really think that one of the coolest things you can do to kind of look a little bit more effortless and cool girl is to have, you know, a really nice natural matte looking base, but then pop an eyegloss on. So these are the e.l.f. Jelly Pop eyeglasses. Very impressed with them. There's two shades. There's this, the shades came off. There's a silvery shade, which I'm not in love with on me because I think it looks a little bit too frosty, but this one I know specifically is called Creamsicle Pop. It's a little bit more warm and pinky gold, and they're just so beautiful. They give you that like wet looking eye. Just be sure that you wear some waterproof mascara when you're using an eyegloss, and it is an eyegloss, so if you're someone who doesn't like the thought of having an eyeshadow product that's going to crease and move around throughout the day, then it's probably not for you. But it also just looks very effortless, and I love the look of matte skin with a creamy glossy eye. I just think it is a nice juxtaposition. Is that the word for this? I think that's kind of the trend for fall. So I think if you guys are interested in me doing a drugstore fall lip video, that will be its own video, because otherwise this will just be so long, because I have so many different like lip products right now from the drugstore that I'm loving, and I didn't want to overwhelm you guys in one video. But a really great deeper nude lip pencil that's going to go with pretty much any lip color that you decide to pair it with is this L'Oreal Color Riche Anti-Feathering Longwear Lip Pencil. It's in the shade Toffee to Be. It's a perfect deeper nude that's neutral enough and lip color shaded, the shade of your lip color, like a My Lips but better shade, and not, oh, I don't even know how I want to word this. It is a flesh toned lip pencil enough to not, it is a flesh toned lip pencil, so it's not going to compete with the other lip colors that you decide to pair it with, whether those are lighter or deeper. It's just a great shade to give yourself a guide for doing like these darker, vampier lip colors for fall. I nailed it. Last thing I wanted to mention, this is not new, but this is a great, I think mascara is totally personal, but I did want to throw one in there for you guys because well, you know, let's not lie. All times of the year, I love a good fluffy mascara, but especially in the fall, when I'm wearing like these smokier looks, I want something that's going to pair well intensity-wise with a really intense eye. So I want it to be very fluffy, very flirty, lots of volume and lots of length, almost like a true false lash effect without having to wear false lashes. So I really like this L'Oreal Voluminous false fiber lashes in the waterproof version. It has a nice bristle brush. Not too big, not too small, so it's easy to control, easy to get in the inner and outer corner. It's the mascara I'm wearing today, and as you guys can see, it gives me lots of flirty, fluffy, fat volume, and I think that that's the type of mascara that you need to be using when you are doing really intense eyes, because you want your lashes to have that like feathery, full, fluffy look, and this is a really great mascara for achieving that. So I just think that mascaras like this tend to pair the best with smokier, more intense eyes, which typically you're gonna be doing more of during the fall. Did I say the mascara was last? Because if I did, I didn't mean that. This is actually the last product I wanted to mention. It is a matte setting spray. This is the Rimmel London Stay Matte Setting Spray. Now, if you guys do wear matte foundation, then you do know that using certain setting sprays can actually disrupt the finish of your satin or matte foundations, making them look a little bit more dewy and feel a little bit more oily, because a lot of setting sprays do tend to have a lot of glycerin in them, which is what gives you that like plump, dewy look. This setting spray is great for pairing with matte foundations because it's not going to disrupt the finish, and it's actually going to help control oils on your skin all day. So it's going to help you stay matte looking longer, and it's a great setting spray that also prolongs the longevity of your makeup as well. So I think it's a good pick if you are somebody who really wants to stay true satin or matte throughout the fall. So yeah, this has been the one that I've been reaching for the most when I'm using matte foundations, because it just keeps my face looking matte and doesn't make it look too dewy or anything. So those are all of my drugstore fall favorite picks. I hope you guys liked this video. If you want to see another one, let me know. I'll do drugstore fall lip picks, just like the tones and products that I'm really excited about for the fall from the drugstore. Leave a comment down below, let me know. Please subscribe if you guys didn't earlier, and come follow me on Instagram. All of these products will be listed and linked in the description box down below for you. As always, I can't talk anymore. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.